Reacting to New York Times NFL Power Rankings. Number 32, Jacksonville Jaguars. Not much to say here. They're just complete dog shit. Trevor Lawrence needs to get out of the league. He's getting paid $200 million to be a sad Ben boy. He's dog shit. Like, there's just nothing to say here. Lawrence is just complete dog shit. They're trash. They need to get rid of that femboy. Number 31, Tennessee Titans. Honestly, Tennessee Titans have some solid weapons. Pollard's a good running back. They have some good receivers there. Levis, he's just making boneheaded mistakes. They really could be 2-1 right now. They're honestly not that bad, but Levis has been holding them down. If they had a bridge QB that could hold them down, they might be able to make some noise. But this year, Levis made too many mistakes. They're not good enough to climb up from here. So I do think they should be a little higher, maybe 28, 27, but not much higher. 30, Cleveland Browns. Deshaun Watson, I mean, nothing much to say here. 29, New York Giants. That was a solid win. But at the same time, it is the Cleveland Browns, and I have Deshaun Watson, so do I really care? No. 28, Denver Broncos. Honestly, I was very impressed by Bo Nix. They did that to a hot Bucs team that just came off a nice win against the Detroit Lions. But he is still a rookie. They'll still have a lot of growing pains. There's definitely stuff to be excited over there, though. Miami Dolphins. Thompson's just trash. He really is. McDaniels can't cover him up. That defense isn't good enough to make up for it. They need Tua back. They need him healthy. Until then, they'll stay around here. But obviously, when Tua gets back, they're around 11, 12, 13, even top 10. 26, Chicago Bears. Williams had good moments, but he's still young. He's still a rookie. He's made a lot of rookie mistakes. He's not ready yet. But he should get there. They have a lot of weapons. They have a good foundation. But yeah. 25, Carolina Panthers. Now, this is a complete overreaction. They're still dog shit. They're still 29, 30. Now, Andy Dalton has been a breath of fresh air. But at the same time, they're still not good enough to be this high. They need to be 29, 30. They're still going to be trashed. They're going to win 4 games. No one cares about them. 24, Las Vegas Raiders. Now, they need to be way lower. Way lower. Dameon Pierce is trash. He needs to be fired. He thinks we're in the 90s. We're not in the 90s anymore. He's a rah-rah guy, but at the same time, you need to have an air attack. He's not going to be able to get done in this modern league. All he knows how to do is run the ball. And, I mean, there's just not that many great pieces there. I mean, Bowers is cool. Adams is still very good. The defense is uninspiring. The offense is just not that good overall. Now, this is an overreaction. They need to be 26, 27, 28. That Bengals win is not looking as good. You also got to consider that when you think about it, they really haven't been that impressive. They haven't passed the ball well. They have run the ball well. And their defense, it's been above average, but at the same time, they can't pass the ball. They just can't pass the ball. They're not going to get anywhere. They're not the Steelers. They have a good defense, but not an elite defense. They're not going anywhere. They need to be 25, 26, 27. Cincinnati Bengals. Yeah, I mean, this is a weird one. They played a close game to the Chiefs. The running game's been bad. Joe Burrow's looked pretty mid so far. It's just been bad so far. I mean, they let the Commanders beat them. 21, Indianapolis Colts. I mean, that's fair. Richardson he ain't doing it. He's going to be very good, but he's just not accurate enough right now. I mean, he can't throw a cross right now. They're just a mid team. Falcons. Honestly, I think the Falcons should be higher, right? Steelers, in hindsight, wasn't a bad loss. They lost last drive of the game. That defense has looked very good to start the year. New additions like Simmons, Judah have been great. Their defense looks revitalized. But the problem is Kirk, he's not 100%. He's a shell of himself. But still, I think they should be more 17, 16, maybe 18. They should be higher. Their defense has been great, and their offense has still been mediocre. Rams. The thing with the Rams is, I just can't forget that Cardinals loss. I mean, that loss was horrendous. So even though they beat San Fran, Matthew looked better, that defense looked better, I just can't overlook the Cardinals loss. 19 seems fine for them. Commanders. See, It was a good Bengals win, so I get it. That Giants win was kind of horrendous, though. They didn't really deserve to win the game, but they came out with it. They are 2-1, so I'll give them the benefit of the doubt, but they really should be 20th, 21st probably. Cardinals, see, they're a weird one to rank, right? Murray looks vintage. He looks back to his old self. Their offense has been crazy. The defense it's been okay, but the offense has been crazy so far. I think they could be 14, 13. Even though they're 1-2, they've had respectable losses. That loss versus the Bills was, they really should have won the game if you look back at it. And the Bills look like the best team in the league. So I really think they could be 13, 12, 14. It's a respectable loss to the Lions also. The Cowboys. See, the Cowboys dog shit. How are the Cardinals below them? How? The Cowboys are dog shit. They got blown up by fucking 50 by the Saints. What are they doing? Jets. Thing with the Jets is 15 seems fine. They're a mid to above average team. If Rodgers really gets it going, if that defense can be the defense we know can be, they could enter top 10 very easily. But as of right now, Rodgers hasn't been vintage Rodgers. He's been solid though. He's still been a good quarterback. 15 seems fine. Baltimore Ravens, 14 seems fine. That first game, the Chiefs, they lost the last second. They really could have won it. That second game, the second game was really rough. Henry, he had a better week, but he still really doesn't fit the offense like you think he would. The 49ers, honestly, a shocking last two games. The defense looked terrible. Nick Sorensen does not look like the coach they thought he was going to be. Honestly, they low-key should have kept Steve Wilkes. It looks pretty stupid now. The defense really wasn't that bad last year. They had a couple bad games here and there. He's inconsistent, but overall, the defense was looking pretty good last year. I know they're dealing with injuries, but still. The offense has actually looked pretty good. The defense has just been awful. Considering McCaffrey's out, the offense has looked solid. But I think they will reach top 10 for him sooner than later. So personally, I would still have them 11-10, but I get it. They're 1-2, so 13's fair. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. See, this is a hard one to do because they just got packed in by the Broncos, but they looked very good against the Lions. But at the end of the day, they got packed in by Bo Nix. 12 is as high as you can put them right now. 12 seems fine, but they did beat the Lions, so 12 seems fine. Philadelphia Eagles, honestly, they should be higher. That offense is really good. I know the score didn't indicate that, but even though it's 15-12, they looked really good on offense. If you look at their total yards, you look at their stats, they looked really good. Hurts had some crucial mistakes, and their coach is just terrible. Sirianni needs to be fired. He's terrible. The decisions he makes make no sense. He's terrible game management. If they had an above average coach right now, they're top 3, top 4 easily. But as of right now, I still think they're 6-7. They beat the Packers. They beat a good Saints team. That Falcons loss, it was bad, but they really should have won it. I think they're 7-6, to be honest. 11 seems low. The Chargers, they haven't done anything. They beat a Bryce Young Panthers. They beat them good, so I'll give them that. They barely beat the Raiders. What have they done? They lost to the Steelers. They didn't look particularly good there. Their offense never got going, but it is the Steelers. Their defense didn't do much. They're going to be an okay team. They're going to be a decent team. They probably can get that 7th seed, but they just haven't looked that good. They're just a wait-and-see team, to be honest. As of right now, 10's fine. They are 2-1, but honestly, I think they're more 13, 14. The Saints, 9 seems perfect. They have a great defense. The offense has shown that it can be explosive, and at the very worst, it's going to at least be average. The very, very worst, below average, but the defense is always going to be there. The Eagles game did scare me, but at the same time, they had a lot of injuries, especially McCoy being out, Taysom Hill being out, Reeves getting injured. The offensive line was decimated. As long as they pick up their slack in this Falcons game, they should be fine. 9 seems fine. The Steelers. 8's fair. They're 3-0. That defense, it's elite. It's the best defense in the league. As long as they have the best defense in the league, they'll be top 12, top 13, top 10. That offense, when it comes to playoff time, the offense is just not going to be able to do shit. That's their problem. They're going to be a good regular season team. That offense just can't do shit, though. when it comes down to it, they're not going to do anything while having a good offense, but they're a really good regular season team as of right now. The Packers. Matt LaFleur, I mean, he's the best coach in the game. He's at least a top 5 coach. He's an offensive genius. He's going to win Coach of the Year probably. I mean, there's not much to say there. Their offense is going to be good as long as they have Matt LaFleur, and their defense is looking pretty solid. 7 seems fine. The Seattle Seahawks. They haven't beat anybody, but they've done what they're supposed to do. They're 3-0. Geno Smith has looked great, and they have offensive weapons. Once they get Kenneth Walker back, they should be in perfect form. That defense has looked a lot better under Mike Macdonald. 6 seems fine. I mean, they're 3-0. The offense looks really good. The defense looks better. Houston Texans. I mean, they just got packed out, but the Minnesota Vikings, I mean, they got packed out. They got smacked. But, I mean, they're still going to have a top 5 offense in the league. That defense can definitely be a top 10 defense. They have a lot of talent. Top 5 seems fine. But that Vikings loss definitely has to scare you. But they still have a lot of talent. They'll be fine. Vikings at 4. It's fair. I mean, they've been just packing out teams. They destroyed the Texans. They had a good win versus the 49ers. I mean, there's not much else to say. I mean, they looked great. Sam Darnold looks like an MVP candidate. I don't think they're going to be top 4, but it's a fair ranking given how well they've played, especially considering they packed out the Texans. 4 is fine, but I do think they're going to end up 9th, 10th, but as of right now, 4 is fine. The Detroit Lions. I mean, they've actually underperformed a lot. They haven't looked very good, but they just have so much talent. Cardinals are actually a sneaky good win with how the Cardinals have been playing. But that Bucs loss looks really bad. I mean, Goff, he looked terrible in that game, especially that last drive. Their coaching was terrible in that fourth quarter. Ben Johnson's supposed to be an offensive genius. His play calling was terrible in that fourth quarter. But they have so much talent. Their offense is at least going to be above average. It should be, top 5 offense, top 7 offense. And that defense should be a top 5 defense, top 7 defense. So 3 is fine. Kansas City Chiefs. Yeah, number 2, that's where they should be. Reigning Super Bowl champs, they're 3-0. Their wins haven't been impressive, but I mean, they're 3-0 for the reigning Super Bowl champs. This is fair. They just haven't, the Bills have been too good to put the Chiefs above them, so this is fair. Buffalo Bills, they demolished the Jaguars. I mean, they've looked amazing. The offseason losses haven't hurt them at all. The chemistry seems perfect. Josh Allen seems happy not having to target anybody specifically. He's been sharing the ball around with everybody. They're clicking. I mean, they played perfect so far. That Cardinals win looks a lot better. I mean, they destroyed the Jaguars. They destroyed the Dolphins. They looked very good. Number 1 seems fine. I mean, that's where they should be.